Markets are holding their breath for some sort of good news at the EU summit this weekend. It's been yet another volatile trading week, and pictures of chaotic riots in Greece on tonight's news simply fuel the Cassandras, who see a market collapse around the corner. Well, to make sense of latest developments, I'm joined from London now by James Schugg, senior economist at Westpac Bank. Well, James, Europe in deadlock. Officials have seemed to have thrown out the idea of using bailout money to directly guarantee bond issues. What's the latest?
Good evening, Tiki. Well, look, actually just 2 minutes ago, we've heard reports come through that the European Financial Stability Facility, that's the bailout fund, is going to be able to buy bonds of governments in Europe in the secondary market. This has seen stock markets push up quite sharply. The Aussie dollar has just jumped 1 cent in the last 5 minutes on this news because it's boosted risk appetite again. But I got to caution, this is yet another example of tidbits of information coming out, often not even during the European trading session, that from unnamed officials that subsequently proved to be incorrect, or at least superseded by information which is totally contradictory. We've seen that on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and possibly again today.
What do you think is going to happen this weekend?
Well, thank you, Tiki, because we really should wait and see what EU leaders deliver. I think there will be probably some disappointment, but it is absolutely critical that we have detailed what are the plans for the EFSF, for the bailout fund. Is it going to be leveraged up? Is it going to act as a bank? Is it going to act as an insurer? And to what extent, if it is leveraged, will it be leveraged? A number around €1 trillion would certainly give the market some satisfaction. We need to see a bit more guidance about what's going to happen to Greece. Are they going to restructure the debt of Greece? What sort of creditor haircut is going to be involved there? And we must get a detailed bank recapitalisation plan. And we need to have confirmation too that there's agreement between France and Germany, because it seems the two big guys have some really fundamental differences about the role of the European Central Bank, the role of the EFSF, and so on.
And presumably who funds first? Presumably who funds first, whether it's the nations or indeed the bailout fund that funds first.
That's absolutely right. So France wants the bailout fund to step in before the nation has to. Germany wants the nation to bail out its banks before the fund is accessed. France, of course, is hugely worried about its AAA credit rating. Moody's are doing their regular review of that rating at the moment. That France is the weakest of all the AAAs globally in terms of its very high debt levels. So that's the motivation for France's arguments on that side. Germany, on the other hand, thinks that it's up to the countries first, the bailout fund as a last resort.
I see Nicolas Sarkozy reported as telling his inner circle, if there isn't a solution by Sunday, everything is going to collapse. So do you think he's getting a bit emotional at his daughter's birth, or is that should be taken seriously by markets?
I think that there is certainly an element of concern that if there is not enough progress made, or at least alluded to, and a clear plan laid out in terms of achieving significant change in the way institutions operate in Europe, in detail around the funds and so on. I think if there isn't something fairly concrete, there will be market disappointment. But I have to caution that I think that there's an underlying sense of low expectation anyway. It's already largely priced into the market. So a dip on the next day, but it doesn't necessarily mean we'll see another swing substantially lower in markets. We've got the November 3rd to watch for too, where the G20 leaders meet.
Yeah, dreadful scenes, of course, in Greece, and we've now got the IMF talking tough.
That's right. They've said that they won't pay their contribution to the 6th tranche of the first bailout from May 2010 that Greece needs in the next week or so if it's going to avoid default, if no formal agreement is reached this Sunday. So the pressure is really on Sunday.
It certainly is. James Schugg, thanks indeed for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Tiki.